Okay, welcome to the second review in the series of reviews I've been doing for you. For this one I've chosen to review the Hasegawa E2C Hawkeye, which just turned up in the post today from Rainbow 10 for me. Very pleased with that. I ordered it before Christmas, so it's been quite a wait. Brand new tooling, it's been eagerly awaited. It's part of Hasegawa's ongoing Kit to the Entire US Navy and 72nd programme by all accounts. As you can see, fairly typically superb box art from Koike Shigeo, which always makes a new Hasegawa arrival a completely new tool, something to take great pleasure in from the very moment you receive the box. Let's have a look inside the box. The kit is presented in light grey plastic, as you can see, on I think it was 7 or 8 sprues, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 6 grey and 1 clear sprue the kit comes in. This is the Japanese Air Self-Defense Force variant. It's an E2C, certainly. It's the version with the 4-blade props rather than the later Hamilton Sunstrand 8-bladed scimitar props, which are becoming more and more common as Air Forces and users of the Hawkeye upgrade their props as time goes on. Looking at the surface detail of the kit, it's typically Hasegawa. It's absolutely stunning detail, very restrained, very refined. Rivets, very few rivets, but very well placed, it appears to me. Very fine engraved detailing. There's raised detailing in some of the areas of the aircraft which require strengthening on the real aircraft, the location for the astrodome, or the radome I should say, and things like the heat exchangers, things like that. It is, as I said, it's tooled as an E2C. The fuselage halves themselves are pure E2C. It's got the longer nose. There is a very separate nose cone, but it's not far enough split to cope with the early E2A kind of more flat nose. So without a mould insert, which it doesn't appear to be set up for, E2C and obviously the later D, which are just being tested now, is the only variants you'll be able to make from this model. In addition to which, we've got the large air intake on top of the fuselage, which was smaller on the E2A and B models, is moulded into the fuselage. So again, no real facility for doing an earlier variant. Looking at this fuselage sprue, you've got things like the main and nose wheel bays, great detail moulded on those. They'll look great inside the nacelles. And the nacelles themselves, it's a fairly typically Hasegawa kit in terms of the way they deal with props these days. There are inserts for the front of the engine nacelles with vinyl caps which go in, which will allow you to mount the props and have them spin. If we move on next to the wing sprue, the wing sprue is both, you know, the entire wing is a one-piece upper wing which locates onto the fuselage. 2 parts here for the lower wings, as you can see. Looking on the inside of the wing, there is a thinned area where the fold line on the real aircraft is, but there isn't actually moulded in cut marks for the wing fold. What this means for the future, I have no idea. It appears to be kind of half a job by Hasegawa here, and they've thinned the plastic where the wing fold is, but they haven't provided an option to fold the wings or an interior cut mark for the wings. Bit of a confusing one, that. I don't know what the future holds. Certainly appears they've thought about it, but what their conclusions are, I'm not entirely sure. In addition to the wing sprues, on the wing sprue, you also get the main flight deck and rear bulkhead. Unusually for Hasegawa's 72nd kits these days, all the detail in the interior is actually moulded in, rather than the more normal job which Hasegawa do these days, which is to just do it with decals, which for the most part in 72nd I find works fine. Hasegawa this time have chosen to do it all moulded in detail, and also included decals if that's the way you wish to go. So there's the wing sprue. As you can see, the slats are separate. We'll get to those in just a minute. Moving on to the sprue with the tail. These are the tail parts. Again, two parts for the horizontal tails, 2 parts for each of the end plates for the tail, and there's also 2 parts on the wing sprue for the small stub vertical tails, I suppose you'd call them. Instrument panel here, again it's all moulded in detail, so some careful painting needed because it really is very, very restrained. Flaps here are in 2 parts for each flap. The kit does give you the option for finishing it with the flaps deployed, which is very useful because you very rarely see Hawkeyes on the ground without the flaps at least partially deployed. The extra additional sprue here marked D is the belly insert for the fuselage. Bit of confusion as to why this was separate initially. It's basically a flat piece with a fairing model on the side, 3 interior holes to be drilled out for antenna. Since doing some research, I found out that the Hawkeye2000, the current US Navy variant, actually has a kind of communications fairing on this belly